We are live on YouTube, and I'm recording.
You got a link, big homie?
Yeah, I'll give it to you in just a second.
Come on, man. Oh.
We are live this week. Episode 29? We're almost to 30. We're rocking out. Nick, I put it in the Draft Bus GroupMe chat.
Got it.
Yeah, we're just killing it. Here we go. I know last week it was kind of rough. Wilson and Nick both kind of led the way, and I chimed in on the way home.
You don't have to be a dick about it, man.
I know, y'all fucked up. No, I think it was pretty good. We still talked. I mean, I chimed in on the way home, and as I was picking up Madden at GameStop, which I don't know about you guys, but apparently it's been glitching the hell out for everybody.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday about where like they'll catch it on the one and turn around and touchdown.
Yeah, not even that, but
Touchback or something.
There was one where a guy had to play an entire game, and the helmets were literally black blocks. And then there was one to where a DB was getting blocked to the sideline, and all of a sudden he went all silly putty guy, flying through the air and made the tackle on the other side of the field.
See, all right, so this is my thing. I know, Andy, we talked about this a long time ago. There's no competition for them.
No.
There's
Yeah,
they can make the shittiest game in the world and people still buy it.
I think this is the last year they have a license, and then I think it's up.
I hope they don't renew. I hope that
They shouldn't.
2K gets the opportunity to make a game again.
2K made probably the best NFL. 2K5 was probably the best NFL game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Madden, when Vic was on the cover.
No, it was the one with TO on the cover.
Or when they introduced the hit stick.
When they did hit stick.
Yeah.
But I know 2K5, the biggest thing that when they came out, they were $20, and they just kind of like shocked the market. But not only that, for $20, it was better than Madden.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that's the biggest thing is they could literally go put the graphics in from 2001 with Marshall Faulk, and people would still buy it.
I mean, the graphics on this year's one is pretty ridiculous. Like, it's really good graphics-wise, but they have put so much more into the game. Like, you have to... Essentially, you got to be an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator to know how to play the damn game. But, like, I was playing this weekend in a buddies because I had a bunch of fantasy drafts and went to Nashville one, and it was Redskins versus Steelers, and Matt Jones broke probably 15 tackles in a game.
Like Kirk Cousins do.
It's real life.
Kirk Cousins didn't do well. It was Matt Jones all day, every day. So it was pretty crazy. Nick, what was this other gorilla that died? What was the name?
I'm don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but Bantu?
Was it at Cincinnati?
No, they were transporting it to have him make gorilla love to somebody, and he fucking died.
What?
They basically like sedated him, and he never came back out.
Somebody's going to get fired over that.
Second gorilla murdered.
Another gorilla down. And I don't know if we have any viewers right now, but the Harambe stuff, I'm going to leave it. Nick, stand back up because he kept switching back and forth. The Harambe stuff is just ridiculous. Like, Nick and I get so many jokes out of it.
It just makes me chuckle.
It's so funny. I also found that thing as was it Tom Hanks as Harambe?
I saw that the other day. That was probably the funniest one I've seen yet because it's just his face crudely posted.
Photoshopped, yeah. It's like dicks out this fall is what it said. But anyway.
They're saying balls out for Bantu.
Balls out for Bantu. We shot the shit here a little bit. So I think the biggest news today, and we all want to talk about, of course, it's coming up fantasy season, but what about this Teddy Bridgewater injury? Everybody's talked about it.
He's done, man. I mean, going into this year, even though I was hard on him, they were going to be a good offense. And, dude, I think their offense is going to mirror what it was last year, just not as strong on the passing side, and they're going to rely on the run game.
Yeah, that Eddie Lacy, not Eddie Lacy, Adrian Peterson, #1 overall the other day, is not looking too fucking bad now.
Mm-hmm.
Who took AP #1?
My dad's neighbor.
Oh, and the Bushy 2.0.
Yeah, which
Yeah, he tried to
Antonio
have
Brown
Moncrief twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my the 10 starter league I drafted at work because they start 3 wide receivers, and to Nick's point, I feel very happy I got AP now because I got Allen Hurns at 9, and then on the wraparound I got AP.
Alan Hearns?
Not Hurns, Robinson.
All right, I was about to say you fucked up.
Nah, Allen Robinson. I was just talking about Hurns because I was looking at trying to trade somebody for him.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. I mean that kills Stephon Diggs, and Laquan Treadwell any hope that he would break out this year.
I was trying to trade Laquan Treadwell for Will Fuller to some guy too. Now that's gone. So, it's crazy because I think Ian Rapport or whatever tweeted out and said that players were visibly sick and one had thrown up from seeing Teddy's injury. And then I just saw on Roto World, the Vikings announced Teddy Bridgewater suffered a completely torn ACL and a dislocated left knee.
Oh yeah, that's Marcus Lattimore style, man. They said no structural damage. But yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, he might make it back next year, but next year's his contract year, right?
I don't know. They're going to re-sign him to a good deal.
Yeah, if they don't extend him, they're going to keep him, even if they just have to try it out. That's crazy. I mean, anyway, that was a big thing.
Like at practice, what are you doing where you can do that?
I assume he just like slipped on something.
Drop him back and just turned a weird way or something. I don't know. They said it was
something. Yeah.
Non-contact. They're not going to make him do anything strenuous. So it had to be something just regular, like rolling out, something.
Yeah, that means you're slipping on like a patch of ice to completely tear your ACL and dislocate your knee.
Oh, man, just a freak accident.
I'm telling you, John Elway threw something out there just so they might trade for Sanchez.
Everybody, like I've seen multiple reports where people are saying that Sanchez could go there. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have Sanchez or Sean Hill?
Hell, I saw a report saying that Peyton Manning might go there. Like, it's fucking stupid.
There's no way that's real.
I'd rather have Sean
You know
Hill.
who? If I was them, who I'm signing, I'm going out and signing Zach Mettenberger, who the Chargers just waived.
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at transactions today, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. He got cut by the Chargers.
Yeah, and then Austin Davis is maybe going to Dallas.
Lorenzo got cut.
Who?
Oh, no, never mind. He got put on PUP. I thought Lorenzo from the Ravens running back.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jared Lorenzen.
Yeah, and you were just doing that thing where you can't pronounce words right.
Hooked on phonics.
Brandon Tate got released.
Brandon Tate.
How long has he been in the league?
Remember when he was supposed to just take control when Arian Foster got hurt and didn't?
Yeah.
And then he signed with the Browns and was supposed to be hot shit and didn't do anything?
I don't think it's the same person.
Or is that Ben Tate? Never mind.
It's Ben Tate.
Either way.
The wide receiver for the Cincinnati Harambes.
Ben Tate still sucks.
David Cobb got cut.
I like how me and Nick were thinking of the same guy. The only Tate that's
You tell me.
in a while,
And you
other than Golden Tate.
Did you guys see Brandon Oliver's injury?
I heard it was bad.
I saw his Achilles tore?
Yeah, dude, it was gross. So he planted his right foot, and all of a sudden you just see his sock just like wiggle. It was so gross.
Guys, it's a bad day.
Talking about this.
Greg Little got cut. I will say I'm wearing my Britton Colquitt jersey.
It's useless
because he got cut today. I'm shedding here.
You can't punt in Mile High. What's wrong with you?
No, they were trying to save money. They drafted that rookie in 7th round, and they tried to get Britton to restructure his contract, and he wouldn't. I don't blame the man. I'm gonna look up see
how much was he making? $2 million?
I'm gonna look it up.
If I was making $2 million, and they're like, "Oh, you need to restructure your contract," I'd be like, "Well, you could suck a dick. I'm out."
The Browns need a punter. I saw where they
I thought they
brought in Pilardi.
The Packers cut their punter too. Oh my gosh. He was due like 1.6 or something.
Yeah. Why would he? Why would he do that?
I don't know. Yeah, he was due like 1.6 or something like that. Not a whole lot, but it's crazy. I know the Packers also cut their punter and going with a rookie. Um, any other big news that you saw?
Well, I mean, old Boo Bosa
Finally signed.
Yeah, and then
Little bitch.
we didn't talk about Romo, did we? Or did we talk about that on the last episode?
Well, let's talk about Bosa first.
Yeah.
I mean, can you really dog him? He got exactly what he wanted.
No, I think the Chargers got their offset language. I think he got the most out of a
He got all his money up front. I thought.
Charger or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he just wanted all his money guaranteed.
So the offset language, which is what he also was bitching about, just essentially means that if he gets cut, the Chargers still owe him those money, even if he gets signed by another team. And then I think he got his bonus all up front, and that was the big thing that he was working on. Like he wanted all of his money today on the bonus, not like 60% and 40 next year.
I mean, this is my thing. From the outside looking in, yeah, we're probably. I mean, I am guilty of this because I think he's a piece of shit. But I know from what I've heard from players and stuff like that, they really don't blame him for trying to get his money. Like that's literally what he's trying to do is just trying to get it paid to make sure he has a living just in case he tears his ACL third day in practice.
And I was 100% on the Chargers side until they like released all that shit in the media about it.
Yeah, I was too until they did that. But the thing about it is, I mean, Antonio Gates even called him out, man. Like a couple weeks ago or something like that. And for me, I couldn't go be on that team and go see those dudes every day after acting like a fool. But
I don't think he's acting like the fool because I think Crabtree acted like more of a fool when he held out at the 49ers. All the way into week 8.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, no, but I know from just like a player standpoint, they're like, you got to get your money while you can. It's a cutthroat business.
Yeah.
I still think he's going to suck. I think he's going to be awful. Maybe his big nose self will prove me wrong.
I also saw a report today where his brother is in like college, isn't he?
Yeah.
Defensive end as well. So we might have to go through this crap again.
Well, hopefully that guy doesn't get drafted. Because that just means we'll see his mom stroke.
Maybe his mom will rub his back. Yeah, maybe we'll go to that draft and then.
So another thing, like Colin Kaepernick, that whole crap. I don't know what y'all think about it. I think he's going to spend more time sitting at home than he is on the sidelines. So.
I think they'll fucking cut him.
Yeah, I do too. I think by week 1 they cut him loose.
I mean, they were already kind of, reports were floating around out there, and they were flirting with the idea of trading him. So, I mean, I don't see why they would keep him. At this point, maybe they see him as a distraction after this. You look at all the other teams in the NFL, and the majority of them, they don't put up with players like that anymore.
Now,
like
this may seem bad, but like, do you think this is part of a ploy? So, like, if he gets cut, he can blame it on this. Like, you cut me because of my freedom of speech.
No, I think that Colin Kaepernick is just ignorant.
He is drastically fallen off.
Yeah.
I think one, I read another thing that other NFL players were talking about sitting out, which if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I mean, if you're there at a game with Nate, Nate's going to call you out on him because, I mean, Nate fucking protected this country. But I think if it came from Russell Wilson or Teddy Bridgewater, it'd make a total different statement than Colin Kaepernick, a guy. I mean, he's technically a has-been now, I mean, it's literally like just a punt returner saying, "I'm not doing it."
That's true. If we can move on like that, how ridiculous do you think Tony Romo is, and how he's been hurt? What, like the 20th time now in his career?
Dude,
And I honestly think this is the last straw. Like this is it.
I think
He's
he's done too, man. Like, did you see how he got tackled? Like he was going in for
It just
a
got like
slide and
compressed.
fell on him. Yeah, so I think he's done, man. Like,
He's got to be the brittlest man ever made.
well, think about all the hits he's taken, shots and stuff. But I mean, he's had what? It's always shoulder, back, somewhere, you know, that affects his throwing and stuff. So
If he was smart, he'd just say, "I'm done." Like
Yeah.
he made his money. Like
That's the thing. Is
I
don't think he is.
would just go through this season, and I would tell them, I'll be like, look, man, I'm going to make this my last season, dude, and that's it.
Just make me a consultant.
or I'm gonna be backup.
Okay, so here it is. 2008, broken finger, 10, broken collarbone, 11, broken ribs and punctured lung, 13, back surgery, 14, back surgery and broken ribs, 2
And
years
his collarbone last year.
2015, fractured clavicle, which is essentially collarbone area, 2016, broken bone and back.
So he's gone broken back surgery, collarbone.
He's had 2 back surgeries.
Yeah, and something like that. That's gonna affect him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
He needs to be done. He needs to
Well,
be done.
Here's the thing: if you're the Cowboys, what do you do, man? Like, okay, let's say going into week.
Start Dak Prescott and go to hell. Like, give it hell, you know?
I know. What about if you're at week 8 and the doctors say, okay, Tony's good to go, he can play, and Dak is like borderline. Say they're like 4-4, they're hovering right around
Keep
500.
Dak.
What do you do?
If you're 4-4, you keep Dak. If you're like 2 wins or less, you think you put Romo in. But if you're like 500, floating along, you keep Dak back there because that offensive line, they're gonna do everything.
Dude,
Ezekiel appears to be as blind as a bat,
No, he's good.
but I don't know. A couple of the preseason games that I've watched, like I watched him play in this last one, and several of his runs, wide ass holes to the left and right, and he runs straight into the back of the line.
I don't know, man. He did stand up Cam Chancellor though.
3 times.
Yeah, it was like
No, I
Because he just runs straight. He doesn't avoid.
There's no way they can put Romo back in if they're 4-4 in week 8.
Yeah.
Because they'll end up going 8-8 with either one. Because it's one the Cowboys that are notorious for being 500. But I think it's going to be one of those things that people are going to pressure him like, dude, you have had major injuries, surgeries now.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to hang him up. Because, I mean, granted, no matter what, like, we know Brett Favre took an ass beating, but
But he wasn't out for like weeks at a time.
yeah, he never he was Mr. fucking like Iron Man until he had his head smashed into a damn ice block playing in Minnesota.
No, I think that you go with Dak too. I mean, you can't have Romo there next year, man. He gets hurt every year. It's inevitable now. I mean, like that. You saw what happened. He was sliding. He didn't get hit that hard. It looked like somebody just fell on him.
It was the third fucking play of the game.
Yeah, and so you just have to take the lumps with Dak, man, and just build that team around him. What they need to do next draft is they need to get him one more receiving.
They need to get him a good tight end.
Yeah, a good tight end, a good other receiver, kind of take the slack off of Dez. Because how old's Dez now? What is he like?
28, 29?
He's the late 20s, something like that. So, I mean, like who knows how long Dez is going to last?
27.
27. So he's
27?
Yeah.
God damn.
He's still probably got, I don't know, what, 4 or
He's
5
our
years
age.
left, maybe even longer. You know, some receivers do really well, have longevity in the NFL, but start to build it around Dak, man. The Romo era is over.
So Romo being out now, does this make you take Dez later?
No, I don't think so. It wouldn't for me. Anyway.
I don't ever draft Dez anyway. He's one of the ones that are on my list that I don't ever want.
I think he fell to the bottom of the second tier wide receivers.
No. Oh, that's too far down, man.
All right,
Quarterback.
you gotta
Quarterback's
have
the whole
Dez or AJ
reason.
Green.
Do what, Nick?
Dez or AJ Green.
AJ.
Oh, AJ.
Dez or Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson.
I don't know. That's tough
So I mean,
because
that's
that offense is better this year, like all around in Jacksonville.
yeah. I'm not talking about like he's the middle to the bottom of that second tier where you're like, all right,
Would you rather have him or Randall Cobb?
Yes.
I think that's the first decision you make.
Because Cobb shares with Jordy.
Dez is going to be sharing with the ground, so
Dez or Jordy.
Jordy.
I don't know, man.
You give me
Haven't
Dez
seen
or
Jordy.
Cobb, and I would think,
He's got Aaron Rodgers thrown to him though, so
I know, but if you think about Dez or Cobb, I would think about Dez.
Dez or Alshon.
Dez.
Yeah, I don't like Alshon, and I think that quarterback's going to. I think offensively they're going to suck this year.
I think it's going to be rough on them too.
Yeah, I mean, there's those Dez or Demaryius Thomas.
Dez.
Demaryius.
See, I'm going Dez just because the Broncos quarterback.
They're going to be throwing more than you think, just because that run game won't be able to get going because that offensive line is atrocious.
All right, Wilson. Hashtag atrocious.
Yeah, it's just atrocious.
No, I don't know. I really think Romo's done. I mean, that's the only way to put it.
Regardless of if he thinks he's done or not, I think everybody else says he's done.
There's no
Jerry
way.
has to say he's done.
There's no way they can say, all right, you're either taking a pay cut and being the backup or we're booting your ass. And who's going to re-sign a guy that's gotten hurt that many times?
I mean, like, could you see Romo being a backup for the Cowboys, though? I couldn't see that.
He'll retire.
I mean, how old is he? He's like mid-30s or something. It's time, man. You're hurt all the time. Mid-30s. Go play somewhere else or retire.
He's 36. He should be done.
He's done.
Yeah.
He is Dundee. So, I mean, they need to go sign a decent backup now.
Well, what's his name? Austin Davis, I know, was visiting there this week.
Yeah.
There's not much out there.
I saw Kansas City was shopping Aaron Murray.
You mean
But here's
Cincy?
the thing is that
It's AJ
we haven't
McCarron.
seen Aaron Murray in, like, any, meaningful games or anything like that. So, I don't know. He probably isn't worth shit. I mean, think about it. They just signed Foles. They're going to keep Foles because he played well under
Oh, yeah.
Reed in Philly.
Don't they still have don't they have Tyler Bray?
Yes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here's your free agent quarterbacks that are out there. I'll just name
Maybe top 5.
Ryan Lindley, Phil
Yeah.
Simms, Josh Freeman, Ryan Bennett, G.J. Kinney.
1.
You didn't say Michael Vick.
He's not on this list.
Say Johnny Manziel.
He's number 7 on this list.
You didn't
You
say
didn't say Jamarcus Russell.
Do you think there's any chance the Cowboys would look at Tim Tebow?
No, he's playing baseball.
Yeah.
You see his tryout today?
But I do think Romo's Mettenberger. I don't know why they wouldn't look at him.
Would Mettenberger want to go there and be the number 3 quarterback, though?
I don't think he'd be number 3. Who's there? Who's back up to
Jamel
that?
Showers.
If I was him, I'd start trading for
I
somebody.
mean, but you don't make the Chargers roster after you played for Wisenhunt, though. They cut your ass. That's not a good sign. So
I mean,
Well, I mean, let me look at the Chargers.
Wisenhunt is so much better as a coordinator than he is a head coach.
it's like North Turner, man. He's like North Turner and Wade Phillips. If they're not running a team, they run the shit out of football.
Yeah.
This thing says they have Kellen Clemens as their backup.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You can't beat out Kellen Clemens. There's something wrong there.
I don't know. What was Kellen Moore was the guy that was at the Cowboys that got hurt.
Yeah.
That guy was so good in college.
He
Accurate as
was.
shit.
Yeah.
That's true. So, y'all had a fantasy draft this weekend. I had 2 fantasy drafts this weekend. What's some trends or things that you saw happening? Like, did people go real heavy with a certain position quick, or
So,
you thought some people were getting drafted way high?
what did you think about the Bush League 2.0, Wilson?
And me?
Yeah.
It was all right. It was hard because it's that second year where you can keep players for the first time. You can have keepers. So, dude, I had to take Mike Evans into the first
Yeah,
because he was like the only, he was the best wide receiver available. Yeah, I got to keep Gurley in the 9th, and I got to keep Amari in like the 6th or 7th, something like that.
Yep. I mean,
So,
Doug Martin got kept in
like
the
super late. Yeah, and so there was like nothing available.
Yeah, that was probably a
2 rounds.
bad thing to talk about, just because I did notice it was running wide receiver and running back heavy for the first 3 rounds. Like, this is the first draft I've been in this year that somebody didn't fucking take a quarterback in the first 3. But hey, go them.
Yeah, I got I got Gronkowski in the 2nd or something. Well, I was at the turnaround anyway, so
Yeah. The draft I had Friday night was a 12 team. And some of the picks were questionable. I mean, I hate doing handcuffs just because you never know.
yeah.
I'd rather kind of have that. In deeper leagues, handcuffs are easier than our 8-team league that we play in.
Yeah, it's because you can justify keeping a handcuff in a deeper league than just an 8-team.
So in that 12-team league, my last pick was DeAndre Washington, just because I feel by the end of the year, he's going to cut Latavius Murray off.
That or Latavius is going to get another concussion.
Yeah.
Or get hurt.
That's one of the guys that's like a backup right now that I think has a really good chance people will go after him. They'll reach for him in like 12-ish round.
Why wouldn't you? Did you see Latavius? I mean, like, he only got the opportunity to run 2 times.
I just know I saw the Titans play really well against the Raiders.
It wasn't that hard to do. Apparently, nobody wanted to play
Don't
defense.
you have Mark Sanchez on your team?
He's third-string quarterback. Yeah.
But no.
No, the Raiders.
He's been running harder, I feel like. He's got something to prove. Latavius at the end of last year could not get anything going, man.
Dude,
it was so frustrating owning him in fantasy.
DeAndre did get lit the fuck up on that.
That was McGloin's fault. That was McGloin's fault real bad.
No, but I mean, in a non-keeper league, just those. It's not very high on rookie wide receivers. Like, I feel there's 3 that are really, really good, and then you got Treadwell. So I really like Sterling Shepard. But Victor Cruz came out and played pretty decent the other day, so that might make his stock drop. And then Corey Coleman, and then the rise of fucking Josh Gordon, looking pretty damn good. And then
what is he suspended for? 4 games?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can totally justify taking Josh Gordon. Like, if you have keepers, say you got a good number 1 somewhere in the draft and you're keeping him, I could totally justify taking Josh Gordon in the first 3 rounds.
What do you damn.
Did you see him the other night? He looked phenomenal.
I figured him not playing football for a fucking year, like, you'd be like, all right, he's going to come out and play like shit, and then he busts up. You got to think, him and damn RG3 played together at Baylor.
Yeah. I mean, remember last time he played, we got to see him play, he was electric every game, man. And then going out there in that preseason game, he just tore it up, son. So he's going to be great.
He left the NFL only playing like 12 games.
What do you guys think about the Bengals backfield?
That shit, did you watch the game Sunday?
No.
So, no joke. They had, I think Jeremy Hill had 27 yards, like 50 yards receiving, and a rushing touchdown. Giovanni had 27 yards rushing, and then like a 30-yard catch for a touchdown. I I don't want any fucking piece of that backfield because you
No.
don't know who's going to go off.
Yeah,
No,
so
Or-
we're talking about that. The reason I ask is so in my college league that I was in, I got both of them. Just tuck them. I was like, let's just see what happens.
You could
I'll look
only
at both
start
of them.
both of them.
I know. That's the thing is I keep thinking about that time Cal beat me with 2 Saints running backs, and I was like, maybe that's not a bad thing.
I mean, that's literally the lightning and thunder of the NFL. Like Andy Dalton. I mean, as bad as I hate him, the dude's actually an extremely good quarterback.
Just not in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like primetime scares the shit out of him. But
No, you just got to remember about 2 years ago, he would have a good game and then he'd throw like 3 picks.
Yeah.
So he's kind of grown out of that. But people that have been watching for the last couple of years, we remember that. And from a fantasy aspect, you're kind of like, I don't know if I want, to have Andy Dalton as my number one quarterback. Maybe have him as a sub for a bye week or something like that.
Yeah,
if
so-
somebody goes down.
one league I have him and Tyrod, and I feel like everybody's like, "Oh, you got shitty quarterbacks." I was like, "I
No, you
really
don't.
don't have that bad of quarterbacks."
Yeah, Tyrod's pretty good, man.
Tyrod's going to throw the shit out of the ball. Andy Dalton's very solid.
Tyrod's going to run the shit out of the ball as well.
Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback for like my 22 starter league, to where you get like the rushing yards and passing yards all together. But in a standard league, he scares me a little bit because he's not going to get you all of those passing yards to get you into the extra point tiers that you have to get to.
Well, here's the thing: is remember last year, before he got hurt, I had him in the Bush League.
Dude,
And he was great until he got hurt.
Yeah.
He was guaranteed points every time.
He's going to get you a touchdown a game at least.
All right, who'd you guys rather have, Blake Bortles or Tyrod?
I mean, I took Bortles and Tyrod's still in the waiver wire.
I have them right there in the same tier for quarterbacks, man. I have each of them in at least 1 or 2 leagues, so
Yeah, I really like Tyrod.
I could take either one, man.
I think he is going to be that sleeper quarterback that you're like the Russell Wilson 2 years ago.
He's the poor man's Russell Wilson. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, and Russell Wilson, I think he's going to tear it up this year. But
Yeah, I do too. I do as well.
Yeah. We are, I mean, what are we, almost 1 week from the start of the NFL season?
Yeah.
1 week and 2 days. Definitely, I don't know if Wilson or Nick are going to join me, but I know on Sundays I plan on being on like around an hour or so and just seeing if any of you guys have start and sit questions. I know we all have 3 very different opinions about when it comes to fantasy football as far as how we structure our teams, to say the least. I mean, I plan on to it. I don't know. Maybe y'all join me a Sunday or two.
no, I mean, literally, the Sundays I don't work, I'll fucking shoot out tweets all day long. I'll sit on Matthew Berry's and whatever he doesn't answer, I'll fucking shoot you an answer.
For what it's
That's
worth.
actually a good guerrilla campaign, I think. I was at the Trader League draft on Friday, and I handed out 9 koozies. It was the last 9 koozies I had to hand out.
In my pick'em league that I'm in Denver, I sent my check to her, and I put a koozie and like 35 business cards in it.
Oh, that's at the Southside Social. I did this. I took business cards with me, and I put one on every table, which probably got wiped off in 5 seconds, but still.
They're like, why is this random guy walking around putting these weird cards on all these
Well,
tables?
hell, I walked in with 9 koozies in my hand.
Funny, like, I mean,
Oh, I printed off copies of the cheat sheet at work and gave them to people. And one of my buddies, Wilson, that's in the 22-star league, took it to do his draft tonight, actually, because he forgot to print off ESPNs, and he goes, give me some of your cheat sheets, and I'll use those.
Hey, I used our cheat sheet in Bush League 2.0 this past Saturday.
it
I
wasn't
had
that bad,
pulled up.
man. I mean,
Yeah. It's just like, I'm not going to use it verbatim, but it's good to see where they all fall, and you're like, oh, I need to take this guy right here, you know.
well, it's all based off likes, man. I mean, by the time you get to round like 4, you should really just go, like, if you like this person, fucking go get them.
Yeah.
It was hard. So, like in that Trader League, it's 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, a running back, wide receiver flex, and then a true flex. And I was going through it in the first round. everybody took wide receivers, and it got to me. Like David Johnson went the pick before me, and then it got to me, and I was like, well, hell, what'd I do? Like,
So you were at the turn?
Yeah, I was 9 out of 10.
Oh,
Who'd you go with?
That's where I got Allen Robinson, and then on the turn back, I got AP.
that's pretty good. That's actually really good.
Which that was that when Wilson. I was telling you I traded Emmanuel Sanders for Derek Carr.
Well, you got a steal there, son.
In that one.
I was at the turn, in this draft, like I said, and I had to reach for a lot of players.
I
had
hate.
to reach for Melvin Gordon. Like, when did I take him? Do you remember?
I think it was like the 4th. It was early. Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, it's just like you're on that
I got
turn, so like you
I got
have to.
I took him in the
You took him in the 5th.
But you're on that turn, so you know there's
Yeah.
there's going to be 15 picks before it gets back to you.
But you got to think, man. You're too fucky. You got to keep Gurley and Rawls in the 8th and 9th.
yeah. Yeah, I
That was
know.
like wide receivers. Like, I didn't need a draft Randall Cobb. And I think the stupidest thing I did is not fucking keep Julian Edelman, but
Well, you never know, man. Hopefully he doesn't continue to have foot issues. But remember, they added another white boy. They added Hogan, who's pretty solid. No, this was mine. I'm going in order. I had Mike Evans, Gronk, T.Y. Hilton, Jarvis Landry, Melvin Gordon, and that was my top 5 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, I didn't get to keep anybody there. Had to draft, and that was, I think, after Gordon, Arian Foster was taken, and Frank Gore went in the 7th. But that was really it.
That's a rough
There was nobody left. There
Dude, so in this draft, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 13 running backs were taken in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, Forte went in the 3rd.
Yeah. Like, by the 3rd round, everybody had 2 running backs except one team.
And I think that was me, wasn't it? No, I had 2. I kept.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got LaShawn in the same one I was talking about earlier. I got LaShawn in the 3rd.
Because Gurley and Rawls would have been taken in the top 3.
LaShawn
Rounds.
in the 3rd. Landry in the 4th.
How do you guys feel about Landry?
Hey,
I got him
Ace
'cause
is
there
down
wasn't
there,
much
man.
left. I mean, he's number 1, so I think he's going to get pretty close to 1,000 yards and at least 5 touchdowns.
He's
Dude,
going to get over 1,000 yards.
I think PPR leagues, dude's a stud.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he has hands of gold. I mean,
Gase is going to figure out a way to get him the ball because he's solid, man.
yeah, I think the best thing for Ryan Tannehill is Adam Gase.
Yeah.
I wish they would have kept Dan Campbell, though. Dude, I fucking loved how intense that guy was.
Do what?
Dan Campbell, how intense he was.
That guy at the end of last year that took over or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just remember he was young and intense, and I was like, why don't the Dolphins try and hire somebody like this?
He was always looks like he's angry the entire time.
That's what they needed. That's like the polar opposite from, what's his name?
Adam Gase, the man Peyton Manning built.
No, not Gase, but Philbin.
That's who they have now, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it for this week. I know we got more to come. Nick's been tweeting out like crazy. We have several Harambe news probably going to break soon.
Harambe watch.
2016.
He's fucking dead, Wilson.
No, he's coming back.
Bitch.
They saw him out in the California
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah, in the clouds.
forest. I imagine him being on like a cloud, like the Katy Perry California Girls, and it's Harambe, like.
No, he's playing a piano like Blue at the end of Old School.
Or,
picture
or
him
like
singing.
Chubb and Happy Gilmore. He's like playing the piano.
I picture him singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with an angel band behind him.
A little baby manger. Baby Jesus. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing stuff. Like always, check us out iTunes. YouTube, we'll do these videos every week, and starting football, we'll do them on Sundays. Probably, I'm going to say 10:30 to noon or so, somewhere around there.
Are we still going to do the Tuesday episode, though?
Yeah, Well, it's going to be our normal episode, and then I'm just going to be on Sundays when I'm doing my fantasy setups, because 22 starter takes some time.
Do you want to set up a time? Do you want to say that it will be an hour before kickoff, before games kick off on Sundays?
No, I think if we do 10:30, I think that's a really good time, because that's before like NFL kickoff and everything. I mean, the NFL Sunday show and stuff like that.
Yeah. Damn, son. I got to get up early then.
You don't necessarily have to. But, I mean, you can pop on whenever. I don't think it's going to be something where we're going to sit there and just, like, one of us will have to be on to start this Google Hangouts thing, and then the rest of us can kind of just show up and do whatever.
Yeah. So, and we're going to ask you all throughout the week for fantasy questions, so we'll kind of have a pile going that we can just pick from.
Yeah. When Wilson starts using social media, he'll start asking those questions.
He deleted Facebook, man.
Check me out on Twitter.
Tweet.
Send me tweets. And you can see all my tweets about how the Raiders make me angry every time they play.
Yeah,
I'm always good for a few of those.
35-1.
Yeah.
Sorry. As far as... We'll keep doing the YouTube Live here in a second, but as far as this week's episode, that's all we got. All right, we're still on YouTube. I was just trying to get the podcast file over.
All right, fuck it. Let's keep going, man. 18 more minutes. 10. Exclusive. YouTube exclusive. Draft Tony Romo. Keeper.
In the 16th round, man. I could think of worse to take. So what were you saying about Tebow's workout?
Dude, he hit like smash job after smash job hitting. I know he hit a home run like 20 feet over the scoreboard. And he ran the 60 and did really good like fielding. Like, somebody's going to fucking sign him for baseball.
I saw where there was a report out saying some exec said that whoever signs him is just wanting to sell tickets or something like that. I mean, you got to think what they're throwing him just cheese down the middle during batting practice for all these scouts. So think if somebody's going to start zipping a curveball in there or a mid to high 90s fastball at him.
But you say that, but I heard some rumor back in the when he was a kid growing up that like he traveled balled. Like people would actually fly him to come play like fucking games and shit.
Maybe that's true. I mean, hell, he's an athlete. He can probably do it all, man.
Take him probably at spring training to get used to the speed. And because he's such a good athlete, I think he'd hop on it.
Do you think? I think didn't he get drafted or something?
Out of high school, I think.
Okay. I mean, I think he has incredible work ethic and can pick up really anything. Like Nick's saying, he's a really good athlete.
I don't know why he doesn't go play fucking rugby.
Because there's no money in it.
Too pretty, man.
There's no money in it.
Do you really think it's about the money with Tebow? Or do you
I think a little bit of it is.
Are you Jewish?
Am I Jewish?
Yeah.
I mean...
I had to stop and think about that.
Well, I was trying to think what I want to say.
I don't know, man. He's just a different breed. I think he just wants to play a professional sport in America because he grew up watching it. So
playing something fucking competitive.
Yeah.
I think getting up on Saturday and commenting on college football kills that guy. Like
having to sit and wear a suit and not
fucking dead on the inside going, yeah, Dak Prescott and the #1 Mississippi State Bulldogs look really good this weekend. I think, like, literally he wants to kill himself after that.
He's just competitive, man. I mean, that's why he won games with the Broncos is because he was competitive. It wasn't because he was a good quarterback.
Because he wasn't.
It was because he just wanted to win more, man. He just was a gamer.
What was it? What, for 50 minutes he prays, and for 10 minutes he delivers God's message.
I mean, that's about true, man. He always pulled out those wins in the end. I don't know how he did it.
How many more drafts do you have?
You don't want to know. 4.
You got 4 more fucking drafts?
Yeah, I already had 2 this week.
I got 2 left.
I got one Saturday, one Tuesday, or one Saturday, one Sunday, one Tuesday, and then one the 10th, the Saturday after the first game.
Why do you guys that's your 22 starter league, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck do you start that after the first game?
It's always been like that. It used to be after the whole first week, and now they just made it on that Saturday. So, like in that day, like for instance, in the Broncos game, if some rookie goes off and has like a 10 tackle game, he'll go for a war pension the next day because they're going to buy the stats. Like they're going to buy all his tackles and stuff like that. It's just the reason they do it is so you get past all the cuts. I mean, we're drafting 40 kids, 40 players.
But why can't you do that the Wednesday night before the game?
Because
Everybody works different jobs.
yeah, it's an 8-hour draft. I mean, you can't do it.
What about Sunday? They should have everything finished by Sunday.
You talking about Sunday of preseason? Because cuts are due, I think, that Tuesday before the games start.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think they're due that Tuesday. The keepers I have are due Friday, and then if anybody gets cut between Friday and the draft, I'm not penalized, and they just come off my team.
You should totally go for Dorial Green Beckham this year and keep.
I will not.
You should totally do.
Dude, he did pretty well the other day.
I'm not going to go for it. I'm afraid.
I looked at
I have Julio and Tavon that I have to top this year.
I'm assuming it was NFL Network's fantasy draft, but I saw who MJD took, and like his very last pick, he took Derek Carr. In a 10-team draft, Derek Carr lasted until the last round, and then he took Dorial Green Beckham, like the round before him or something like that.
Is he fucking stupid?
You tell me, man. Can you justify taking Dorial Green Beckham anywhere when there's still viable receivers available? Because it's 10-team, so I'm assuming there was still better options out there. So it has to totally be just on a flyer.
I'd totally take one of these rookies that might fucking be a flash in the pan. Like Will Fuller. Like, I really think Will Fuller is going to take this second job from, what's his name, Jalen Strong.
Yeah, I do too, actually. I don't know why you have to talk about him on here in front of everybody. Ruin my draft strats.
Wilson, you always have a shitty draft, man. You're a waiver wire guru.
Yeah, you draft like shit, but your waiver wire is awesome.
Andy boy, don't be talking about nobody's draft being ass.
Yeah. What about yours? He throws the first like 6 games so you can get all the waiver pickups.
Not this year, man.
There was one year
Not
when
this.
I had a good draft, and it was that year I got to keep Le'Veon and like Antonio or something. I had just that draft was stacked. Like there was no way I was going to lose that year.
Sean and fucking Marshawn.
Do what?
That was a year I get to keep LaShawn and Marshawn Lynch.
That was a good year, man. That was a good year for keepers.
No, yeah, Andy, I told you, reverse waiver wire is gone.
What is it now? It's like if you haven't picked up, you're number 1 all year.
Yeah, so you creep up.
That's good. I like that.
I know you and Ben sat there and you came up with some fucking strategy to just ruin whatever I had going for me.
I mean, it's not. I honestly think the last place picking first is not fair in fantasy football. Like, if you haven't picked up anybody, you should have first dibs.
Yeah, I mean, so no offense, I know they're not listening right now, but Cal and Alex, it fucks them more than anybody. Because, I mean, if they have a shitty draft, which we know they will, Alex will show up and start drinking, or Jessica will be there and pick his team. It fucks them. So.
Yeah. No, it'll be all right.
I'm trying to.
It'll be good. I mean, like after Bush 2.0, I think that was a solid draft. I don't think I screwed that one up at all.
Dude, I think everybody and that's what sucked. I tried looking on ESPN for like that.
They don't have it anymore. They took it off. They removed that whole commish toolkit crap.
See, why would they do that?
I don't know. I thought it was cool.
I failed every year. It was terrible.
It was true.
I failed every damn year. No, but I mean, like, my starting wide receivers are Amari Cooper, Evans, Hilton, and Landry. Those are all 1,000-yard receivers. Easy.
I gotta get out of here.
All right, dog. Hey,
I gotta feed Eleanor. And,
no, you're good, brother. I know what's up. Just holler at us later. Hey, let me know whenever you want to do that Sunday stuff.
Well, I already told you.
Well, I
We'll be on at like
shoot
10:30.
me a text whenever you want to start it.
Yeah, I gotta finish up my spreadsheet tonight for. I gotta figure out where my keepers are.
All right. Hey, I sent you that email with that resume in there as well. I don't know if you got it.
I have not got an email, so I don't think you have.
Let's fucking look here.
I'm looking right now. Hey, I don't have one.
It came from zcwilson1 at Gmail instead of my other one.
Yeah. I'll post my email address in the chat.
All right, dog.
All right, guys.
Hey, man.
Dude.